treat you another way. But baby, it's been on my mind, and you know my face can't hide it. So take my hand and hear me when I say, don't you know that I'll be there for you, with a love to get you through the night, yeah. And I'll be there for you when everything is out of sight. You got it, baby. One more time, you got to get it right and funky by this life with you. And honey, if you're not, then I'ma get you by. But come on, baby, not.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think I have everything set up the way it's supposed to be. My audio and everything. Yeah, I think so. We got a camera. We got it all. How's
Do
it
you have
going, Stu?
microphones? Microphone check.
I think microphone check.
Camera check.
Microphone.
Camera 1, camera 2.
I would like to have, I mean, that's when you know we're really taking it to the next level is when we turn this thing into a multi-camera podcast.
That's the next level, is multi-camera, full immersion experience.
It has nothing. The next level has nothing to do with being better or
No.
like getting better or more more infotainment, anything like that. That's
Appealing, easy on eyes or ears, general awareness or improvement or interest.
Well, we've got an interesting question coming through, and a question comes in from Linwood Brewing, and it said, first of all, Mills, start 2, Dobbins, Benson, Walker. Well, first of all, I'm gonna have Benson in this game, for sure.
Now, you're talking about Robert Guillaume's titular character Benson, right?
Producer Jared, can you call up a picture of Robert? What was his name?
Robert Guillaume.
Bro, did you watch Benson?
Of course I watched Benson. What else am I going to be doing?
Twin Joe gave me a Benson reference because I was able to pick him up off waivers this week in our thing, and he dropped reference that I didn't get. And so let me see, Linwood. I think Benson is going to get the volume. A prediction for Marvin Harrison. Listen, the football questions coming in hot and heavy. Insta Jeeves, prediction for Marvin Harrison. Marvin Harrison needs to start doing something. This is wild because
and just to be clear, we're talking about Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah,
because Marvin Harrison Sr.
has already.
From what I could tell, he's killing it right now.
Hey, and we got Maxwell House in the chat. I think I know who you are, young man. Go Seattle. Go Birds. They're not called Birds. The Eagles are called Birds. But back to Linwood. Linwood had.
Just kidding, Dobbins.
Yeah, Dobbins. Let's see here. I mean, okay, so hats off to Dobbins for just continuing to do his thing. But I think I would go Benson, Dobbins, Walker over it. Walker always has that thing where he can pop off for big runs, the explosives that they talk about sometimes.
Yeah. Dynamite if we're talking about JJ Walker.
Yeah. Wait, was JJ Walker Jalen Rose's dad?
What? Like on a show or in real life?
In real life. Who was it? I think I heard that Jalen Rose's dad was like an actor.
That's a good question.
Okay, you dig that up. Okay? Because listen, producer Jared is on assignment. Okay. And this is just one of those times where and also at the same time, it shows that, like we're not too good for it. We're not too big for it. You know what I mean? Sometimes when you hit a certain level, people are like, oh, they won't do their own Google searches anymore. But yeah,
Jalen Rose is his son.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no. Hold on. NBA player Jimmy Walker.
Walker.
JJ Walker.
Okay, well, at least it was a Walker. But Linwood, yeah, I would go. I would go Benson. For me personally, I would go Benson, Walker, Dobbins, just because Walker is like that kind of home run threat guy. But I have a feeling that Benson's going to get a ton of volume today. And Insta Jeeves, this Marvin Harrison Jr. thing, and Stu is correct. Marvin Harrison Sr. is off the hook. He's done his thing. But Marvin Harrison Jr. just hasn't clicked yet, man. I mean, in my mind, if you're talking about like from a fantasy outlook, I mean, if he fits into a flex, maybe that's fine. But I would like to see him start doing some stuff. I don't know why it's not working. You got that tiny little quarterback back there with that enormous baby head.
I've got him starting in our league, so I hopefully that little tiny baby quarterback does something good tonight.
But watching him run is one of the more entertaining things to watch in the NFL. Because it legitimately does look like a toddler that's hustling through the line and stuff like that.
Which is always super cute, right? And like, you're not mad when you see like a little baby hustling around.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hey to everybody out there in the chat. Thanks for joining us tonight. I like doing, I don't know, I like doing the football night stuff because it's, especially during the week, because it's kind of an easy reason to get together and kick back a little bit. But we had a big week. If you're not following, and by the way, if you're not following the Small Town Guys Instagram page, our count is up to 15 followers at this point. Okay,
it appears to be a 4-follower increase from the last time we talked about it.
Yes,
which is
a 40% increase.
40% increase. That's
dude, those numbers,
crazy numbers. If you just
people
think
would
about
pay for those numbers. Yeah. A 40% increase.
It's like the stuff going around on Twitter right now where it's like statistically Jared Goff is like the number 2 quarterback or in the top 3 quarterbacks of the entire league for the last 3 seasons.
Hey, but on
statistically, it's the fastest growing like account right now.
Sure. But you know, I really do think that there is something to like, so at what point does Mahomes get credit for being coached by Andy Reid? Okay.
Right.
Because now listen, I think Mahomes is one of the best quarterbacks in the game right now. But what's interesting is when he does not have arguably at that time the most dominant deep threat wide receiver in the game in Tyreek Hill, when he does not have a prime Hall of Fame tight end, we know what we get with Pat Mahomes, which is what we've gotten the last 2.5 seasons, which is a game manager that likes to pretend to run out of bounds so he can either truck you or get a flag when somebody touches him. So quarterback hot takes, baby. At what point do you start saying that Jared is in? You have to start having the conversation at some point because his stats are wild. And now it's without Ben Johnson.
The thing is, nobody was saying that about Tom Brady, a decade ago. He had a great run and everybody just said, oh, it's a system. It's a good, coach. It was all Belichick, but he was able to do it, somewhere else.
I think it would be, prayers directly to the good Lord on this. If the Lions were to walk away with a Super Bowl in the next 2 years, is he going to be like one of those Matt Stafford guys? I just saw a headline that they were running on one of the sports talks or one of the larger sports outlets, and they were like, how great is Matt Stafford? Is Matt Stafford one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time? And he happened to win a Super Bowl, but up until he won that singular Super Bowl, he was doing what he's always been doing. So, anyways.
I don't know. I think everybody's out of stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
And they're just kind of just writing stuff now. So, there always has to be the greatest to ever do XYZ on the field at any given time, just so that there's something dumb to write about. But I don't know.
Yeah.
And then after you retired for 5 years, nobody's talking about you. So
yeah. Hey, Stu, fantasy check-in.
Okay.
Fantasy health check.
Mm-hmm.
How are your squads looking this year?
Fair to Midland. So I've gotten really lucky in the league that you and I are in with the undefeated record so far. But I expect. I mean, I could win this weekend. You know, you never know. Each week, what's going to happen. I don't. I think it's just have been lucked out there. I've had really poor quarterback luck with all of my teams. I'm in 3 leagues, and I drafted in the back end of the draft in all of them, either 9 or 10.
Yeah.
And there was such a crazy drop off in, like quarterback, skill that a little bit scraping by. Picked up Jackson Dart in a couple of leagues just to see how he played. But
and you know how that's spelled, right?
Jackson
it's with an X, right?
Of course it is. Yeah.
I
can't. You asked me to think of any other way to spell it, and I'm going to come up blank right now. So that's the only way I know.
This is. I saw him with his one big black triangle of face paint. It's only on one side with his perm. And with that one style of necklace that the young guys have now, where it just all lays flat, it just looks like circles linked together of diamonds.
And you're like, let's go.
What? First of all, and maybe I'm dreaming this up, but I'm also imagining that maybe he was wearing like the head sweatband around the neck. And maybe that was just some old thing from that maybe that was just some old Dion Prime stuff. But yeah,
he's just a cool guy, right?
I mean, he seems like he wants you to feel that way.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, we're feeling it. You and I are kind of like, this is a cool guy.
I did see him in the interview that he was giving when he was, when they gave him the starting job, and I thought to myself, wow, this is the first quarterback that I'm looking at and I'm saying, oh wow, he's like a kid.
Yeah, like
he feels like a teenager to me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And maybe it just is a little bit of what he's bringing to the table, but also some of my thing too. Stu, I didn't realize we have stuff popping in from the chat. We have Ginger Dickens. He joined at the person that baby quarterback. yeah. Just the homebrew Go Birds is definitely an Eagles chant. My apologies. Linwood wants to know, so are you guys ready for the Lions to crush the lowly Browns?
We don't talk like that on this podcast.
We don't talk like this in this house.
We do not express the hubris. For anybody who has been a Lions fan, we cautiously approach every week with knuckles whitened. Of course, so deep down, we might want them to crush.
Yeah.
But we think of like how scary Joe Flacco can be, he scares the hell out of me.
Well, so I do know Linwood is a long-suffering Lions man himself.
He knows better.
Yeah, he does, and he carries the two of us have that brewer thing where I honestly feel on some level, in order to like grow as a brewer on some level, you have to hate yourself. Like there has to be a certain amount of self-loathing that kind of drives you forward. We both share that. So he gets into that headspace pretty easily. Insta Jeeves, do you guys think Belichick thinks it's harder to coach college students than it is to date them? Boom. Jokes from the chat, Stu.
Yeah. No,
I know, because when I was reading it, I don't know if you could see anything change with my eyes, but my eyes were starting to open. I'm like, I think I can put a punctuation mark on this, but it was already in there. I thought it was going to be more of a serious question.
For me, it's like, well, there wasn't enough meat left on the bone for me to do anything, so I just had to sit here and let everybody else do my job.
Oh no. Yeah, no, Instajeeps, they are not going to let Russ cook anymore. It is time for
he retired. Did he retire?
No, well, I don't think
was
so.
that a rumor?
He got benched. I know he definitely got benched, but I do know that the Giants are officially, from what I read on their social media, going to quote get their dart on for the rest of the season.
I think I got suckered on fake Russell Wilson retirement news. I did get a little excited though, because to me, that's one step closer to what I want, and it's Jameis Winston.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that's okay. So you in the chat, are one and the same here, because Instajeeves is also pulling for a Winston comeback here, if you will, because he's buried on the depth chart there. I think he's the third option. He's the third option.
Cashing a check,
dude. So he is fun. He is fun.
Imagine kicking it with him and Scatabo.
Did we already talk about the Tyrone Tracy and Scatabo backfield nickname?
No.
People were calling them cookies. I'm sorry. Cookie.
I love it.
Cookies and cream.
That's I love more running field, backfield team, running back teams with nicknames. That's a really good one.
Yeah. So cookies and cream. Yeah, we and I think I've already signed off on the fact that I am not crazy about the Sonic and Knuckles thing for our boys here in Detroit.
I'm not really into it either, but that's kind of like their thing, right? Because they're like,
did they come up with that?
I think they came up with it.
All right. Well, if they came up with it, I'm better with it.
Yeah.
We might need to dig into the origins on that, but
you don't understand how lame and nerdy a lot of these guys are.
It's true.
You know?
Who was the first one where you really found out, oh, this guy's a nerd?
Like an athlete?
Yeah, for me it was the running back that it was before they drafted Gibbs. He scored all the touchdowns. He scored like 16, 18 touchdowns in a season. He used to play for Green Bay.
Oh,
no, he used to play for Green Bay.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah,
he's like the big Pokemon guy.
Yeah. Williams,
Jamal Williams.
Yeah, Jamal Williams.
Williams.
I noticed that too. He had like some crazy pendant of some guy, I think.
Yeah, and then he does the whole thing. And if you have not listened to some of his amazing camp footage from the first year he joined the Lions, he's talking about how leaving Green Bay and then going to the Lions was like finding a new girlfriend, and how he's being taken care of. You need to Google that. This would be producer Jer. We would have producer Jer on this and pulling this clip up because
kind of useless.
It's a joy.
I think that I would like an update on that with his New Orleans experience of like if we were using the same sort of analogy.
Yeah.
What's that one like?
Yeah, I think is he still down there?
I think so.
Because I know he was, but I think yeah, I don't know.
I wanted him to do good there because I loved having him on the Lions. He was a lot of fun. Yeah, he was a lot of fun.
He was great.
But Montgomery was an upgrade at every sort of spot you can imagine. Yeah. He's been unbelievable.
Just look at his smile, man.
It's like, so good.
How can you not like this dude? And he bled it too, man. I loved that they were
getting
talking
emotional
about,
and stuff.
yeah,
crying.
yeah, post game stuff. So it would be well, they beat the Packers, and he was talking about how it was just so good to win on the field, and something about his grandpa, and he's crying, and then he just starts screaming, "But don't think we're soft just because I'm crying."
Yeah.
Another one. Listen, you need to go back and just find the interview highlights with this guy. Worth your while. Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. It is Jamal Williams, free agent, by the way, right now.
He's a free
agent. Out there. He's a free agent right now. But this, I mean, we're just days away, Stu. It's barely in the rear view. The two of us.
I still can smell Old Bay if I like.
We were literally,
you know, if I just kind of, you know, if I turn my head a certain way, it's still in the air. Now that might be because probably like my hat and my shoes and everything got covered in Old Bay while I was there, but.
Dude, they're not playing about the Old Bay. It's everywhere. Yeah, I mean, we were immersed in the culture, Stu.
When I went to lunch with I would say best friend of the podcast, James Bowe. When I went out to lunch with Mr. Bowe, they gave me fries that had Old Bay on it. He goes,
"Oh, dude."
He said, the fries come with Old Bay. You're in Maryland. They don't come any other way. I said, all right. I wasn't going to argue with them.
It was like the opposite when later in the game, it's fourth down at the 50-yard line. And there's it feels like a long TV timeout or something. And James Bowe turns to us and says, "Hey, you guys really aren't going for it, are you?" And we're like, "Oh yeah, we go for it on everything."
Yeah,
just like Old Bay. Old Bay is on everything there. We always go for it on fourth down.
It was funny because he earnestly asked the question, and we were just like, "Well, of course, yeah." I didn't even make. I can't imagine not at this point, and that's how we've been reprogrammed now.
Oh yeah,
along with everybody else down there in the Honolulu Blue. You right?
Yep. Yeah. I mean, and we can dip into some football too here in a little bit, but yeah, I mean that was really wild. You flew out, me and the boy drove out. If you're following either of the pages on Instagram, you saw some of the pictures from that. It was just awesome. It was great. We got there early. We were able to realize how bad people are at making statues / sculptures. Stu, do you have any thoughts on what we saw? What it might signify?
So have you watched like a blockbuster movie in the last couple of years and look at it and think CGI doesn't look as good as it used to, right? Like sure. For some reason, it doesn't look as good as it used to. And I think that it's a little bit of a canary in the coal mine situation where we're losing the ability to create art, to create beautiful things. We cannot create like bronze statues anymore. It's gone. We've lost it. It's like in the next 15 years, we're going to look at something and it's going to be like looking at the Egyptian pyramids. We're like, well, how do we do it? We don't have the technology to do that now. How did they do that 1,000 years ago or 200 years ago? We're going to look at the Statue of Liberty and just be absolutely bamboozled because they certainly cannot make like sports hero statues anymore. And there are some wild ones out there too. Like we talked about the Dwayne Wade one.
The Dwayne Wade one is so brutal. I don't even understand. Yeah, I don't even understand. I can just stop there. I don't even understand.
There was what was there was another really bad one. We saw Johnny Unitas at Johnny Unitas there. We saw Ray Lewis. I have spent more time, I think, at the foot of the the Harry Carey statue outside of Wrigley Field than I care to admit.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah. How is that one? Is that better than what we're dealing with with these other ones that I'm seeing?
It's weird. It's really, really weird. I don't like. It's like something from a horror movie. Let me grab a picture of it real quick, and I think I can. Yeah, this is perfect. I'm gonna drop this. I think I might be able to drop.
Yeah, if you can drop it, I'll pull it up.
Yeah, and
yeah, I just don't know. I just don't know what's missing with things. Here we go. Case in point. Okay.
It's scary, right? Like like if you've seen like the first couple Poltergeist movies, you give a general feel for what. And when you look at it, I know the first thing out of your mouth is, "Holy cow!"
Why are there monsters coming out of his knees?
I don't know. Probably the sculptor is like, "I don't do lower legs," and they're like, "Just fill it in with Nightmare. It's fine." It's like he's been dragged to hell, right?
He did it, dude. This is unpleasant.
Yeah.
I'm expanding my screen right now, and what is I don't know. It's almost like he wants you to be saying something. You know what I mean? Like he's offering you the microphone,
right?
And the kneecap nightmare.
To finish whatever incantation he had started to free him from whatever like eternal torment he is about to face.
Yeah, that's rough. That's pretty gross. I'm trying to pull up just a standard scoreboard because I have do you have the game on?
Yeah,
I have the game on, but I want to see like a it just keeps giving me fantasy stuff. Give me like the stats and stuff. Anyways, that's dumb. Who cares? Not me. But yeah, so we did the statue thing. It was a lot of fun. Like I said, you can go over and check out a couple of the posts I put on Instagram. Why it switches us to that one, I don't know. But yeah, that was cool. I was surprised by the number of Lions fans there.
A ton of them.
Yeah, one of my favorite dudes that I saw in a long list of favorite dudes was an older gentleman with a kind of a bucket style hat that was pulled up on one side, and he had a custom. The whole outfit looked custom, but he had a custom jersey made that said "Waitin' Cents" as the name on the back, and then 57. The last time the Lions won a championship. Mm-hmm. There was just some good stuff, man. It was really exciting. I loved being able to go and just watch the game. That was all amazing. Having Isaac there, being able to go with friends, like Jim and Stu. It was a very, very cool thing.
The thing that surprised me the most is I had heard how awful the people in Baltimore were, and just like just absolutely subhuman. But everybody turned out to be super like decent and okay. We were in hostile territory up in where we were. A lot of Lions fans strategically clumped together over on the visitor side, but we were in the thick of it with them, and there were a lot of assistant coaches up behind us as well. And it was something, but it was super cool. Just a ton of fun. Everybody was great.
We had one guy that was a little chap when we were walking out. He congratulated us on the win, But then he said, and this has probably got to be the biggest win you guys have ever had or something like that. And it's like, okay, guy. I was nervous at one point because, in a situation like that, when there is something good happens for the team you're cheering for and you are the away person in the away stadium, the stadium gets quiet when you want to get loud. And there was a turnover or something, and we all cheered in a way that I thought was appropriate. And then my 14-year-old son decided to punctuate it with an additional boom.
Yeah.
So shouting the word boom over top of it.
You lit him up.
And yeah. And the only thing I could think is if it's going to if this goes sideways, it's going to be one of those situations where I have to cash a check. I have to cash a check that my son's mouth has written. You know what I mean? So I did tell him, like, hey, let's do our standard thing, but let's not throw, exclamation points on top of it. Because I don't want to be beaten up. At any point, publicly or otherwise.
I'm sorry, you said you don't want to be beaten up?
Yeah. I don't want to be beaten up.
That's where your head goes?
Oh, I always assume somebody wants to hit me.
Right, no, I was thinking, oh man, I'd hate to wreck all these Baltimore jumps. I was like, don't come after the kid, know?
That's why I roll with who I roll with. You know what I mean? I need those people around me. Oh,
good. Kyler Murray just got picked off, so he's currently sitting at negative fantasy points for me.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool. Interesting stuff.
Yeah, it's not. Kyler does get picked off. Lynn, are you starting him as well?
Wait, hold on. Well, yeah, he got picked off, and then the guy fumbled it, and then the Seahawks fumbled the interception, and then Arizona recovered it. So that's 2 turnovers on one play.
It's wild out there. Kenneth Walker the third has 2 carries, -3 yards. Charbonnet has 1 carry for 0 yards. And right now their leading rusher is their wide receiver, JSN, as he's known in the streets, with 1 rush for 2 yards. So, it's interesting times out here. But, back to the game. I love going into this is only the second professional game that I've gone to. And I'm always blown away by how fast the guys are, how big the guys are. And even Goff, he's not known for having the strongest arm, but you go out there and he's just throwing to wide receivers, and the ball pops out of these guys' hands. You know what I mean? It's really crazy. And obviously it's the NFL. You know what I mean? But when you do see it in person, it still blows me away.
You had a lot of those kind of analytical sports insights when we were there, and it was definitely seeing a guy who was kind of in his element. And I think the one that resonated the most with me, that I knew I was with a sports guy, was I think you said, man, I didn't think their helmets would be this shiny.
Bro. It's true, bro. You don't know. Listen, out there, you don't know how shiny these helmets are. Okay, they must have they must have somebody in the back.
It's like a kid. It's like a kid with wax and a rag.
With one of those big buffing wheels.
Oh, big buffing wheel.
Yeah, like a big buffing wheel where there's a sheep attached to it, and they're just buffing those things before they go out there.
Oh, they got to lean into it.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude, you can't not.
I mean, what do you into it? Yeah.
Listen, if they've had the deflator, okay. If Tom Brady had a guy that was just dropping air out of balls, okay, then they've got a buffer.
Tom Brady had the deflator. Was it who was the Vikings running back who had the original Wizinator? I think those were both from the same companies, right?
Are
But
you
anyways,
talking about wasn't the Wizinator? Isn't that fake unit that you can put clean pee in to drop?
Well, technically it was the original Wizinator too, was the model that he had.
Who was it? Who was it?
We gotta get a
we need producer Jer.
We need producer somebody.
Okay.
It was a guy from the Ontario Smith from the Vikings.
Oh yeah, dude, the original Wizinator too.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine being a sucker that got burnt by the first model.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But before they got back in the lab.
Yep. But I mean, that's the thing with product development. But go ahead, continue your story.
So they had the deflator, and so they definitely, if they have a deflator, they have a buffer. If Brady has deflator, Goff has buffer, because I'll tell you, man, those helmets were gleaming. Yeah. They were gleaming. We eventually made our way up to our seats, and I know I've heard the rumors that physics and science and math works, but when I got up to our seats, it does feel like you're going to tip on some level. But then again, I'm a little weird with heights and vertigo kind of
and
stuff.
Equilibrium and vertigo. Yeah, you're kind of like a lady. It's very it's similar in every. I've had the experience in every stadium as well. Yeah, that was it was cool. We could see perfectly though, and it was such a great kind of like spot. It was a perfect football experience.
Oh, absolutely.
And having your team kind of dominant, and you said that you did this too, but I spent so much time just watching clips and listening to analysts talk about that performance, and a lot of people are saying that it's one of the better in-season, wins of this kind of Lions.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because we've had a lot of good wins over the last couple of years, but this was against a team that was supposed to be
sure
top in that division.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. I mean, who was it that? The Browns beat Green Bay this weekend, right? After spanking, quite frankly, both Detroit and Washington, and so that kind of stuff can happen. But they came out and they looked really dominant with the amount of talk that has been surrounding the Lions losing coordinators and the brain drain and whatnot around that. I certainly think that it looks as if they're still going to be a competitive football team.
I always love the offensive output. We've come to expect that. What I was really excited about was the way that they contained and controlled kind of like Lamar. Now, there's only so much you could do with a quarterback like that, and he's going to make those throws, but he did not do anything, on his tootsies, because they implemented, was it a QB spy, which is not something that they typically do. I know that Aaron Glenn was against it, and kind of an interesting wrinkle there, and you wonder how that's going to play out, because that's been, I mean, we always felt nervous running into those games where it could be
the guy can run.
Yeah. But who's that guy they signed to the practice squad?
Was it Malik Washington?
Yeah. You had to think that they had planned some of this stuff and really kind of workshopped a lot of that out.
Yep. So Gus Luna is part of the inaugural Adam Makes Beer Fantasy Football League. It's a 12-teamer. Just some good old-fashioned fun. There's plenty of brewing puns.
How old-fashioned are we talking names?
Well, I'll tell you, old-fashioned enough to have. It's a 12-teamer. Is this a 2-quarterback as well? 12-team. No. 12-team, 1 quarterback, 2 flex, 3 wide receiver, 2 running back. So it's just some good old fashioned fun. He says Adam is 3-0 in the league, but you'll lose this week. I can feel it, man. Gus, are we playing each other? I have a feeling this might be coming from that space. But like I said, it is anything's possible. I am 3-0 in this league. I am playing somebody who's 2-1. It's 50-50, baby. We'll see. You know what I mean? We'll see. I've been fortunate this year so far in fantasy. But you know who wasn't fortunate, Stu?
Who's that?
Was our man Rudy.
Oh no. Yeah. I actually got really
not
bummed.
Rudy Huxtable.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are some of the so this is the shout out Rudy podcast today. What was the window on his career? I don't have Wikipedia pulled up here for his rundown.
Yeah, no, he was a lion for a cup of coffee.
Was he?
Yes.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, no, he was in 08. So there he is. Why do we,
great. I just called that up. I didn't mean to do that.
You didn't need to summon hold on.
Well,
get
give us some of those sweet Rudy stats.
I mean, obviously he was a Bengal and I had him on probably several fantasy teams. There he is. Oh, Johnny Cash, and I'm surprised that John Lennon would be welcoming him. But it's very tender and very sweet. To give you this, if you want something a little more relevant.
Hold on. First of all, this is this is a
Johnny
callback.
Cash was just happened to be with John Lennon because he doesn't know who it is either.
For those of the internet acts fast, ladies and gentlemen, and for those of you who are only listening to audio right now, this is not going to work. And I'll be honest, it might not work if you are using video right now either. But there are already pictures circulating. You know, when Ozzy Osbourne passed into the next world, I saw paintings like this, renderings, if you will, of Ozzy being welcomed by some rock and roll greats, some metal greats. And somebody out there was like, hey, let's run it back, but with Ozzy on the welcoming committee, along with John Lennon, the Man in Black, Johnny Cash, and Jesus.
So a couple of funny things that first of all, Jesus is a little bit of an afterthought here because Rudy's going for Ozzy. That's kind of his main event. And Jesus is like, what? I'm right over here.
I didn't even look at it like that because Rudy
he's like Ozzy Osbourne.
yeah. Oh man, Ozzy. And
why is he suited up though? Was that a requirement?
I think so.
He wasn't able to enter the pearly gates with his civilian clothes.
Possible. Possible.
Okay.
What else?
All right. I like this one a lot too.
Do you like this one more?
Yeah.
So again with John Lennon, but again, he's really focused on John Lennon. He's not as interested in either Madonna or Marilyn Monroe or whoever that is.
That's Marilyn Monroe. Madonna's mostly still alive. That is younger Johnny Cash but also a little bit Elvis Presley as well.
That's the good question right there. Yeah. What's the deal there?
In the middle, is that God or Charles Darwin? And I am not even going to take a guess as to who that is on the right. Could that be Herbert Hoover, maybe?
That's what I was gonna say. For a second, I thought it was Truman.
It could be true. That might be Harry S. Truman. I don't know.
But yeah, also, I feel like this Lennon, I'm a little uncomfortable with the Lennon because I don't know if he's wearing a flannel or like a robe. Because if you look at the sleeve area, it almost looks like it's getting into a robe type situation.
So I think you get a little bit of mashups, in heaven where Jesus and John Lennon fit a similar archetype. Elvis Presley and Johnny Cash, God and Charles Darwin, Marilyn Monroe, Madonna, and then of course Harry S. Truman and Calvin Coolidge, maybe. Now, interestingly enough, on the Harry S. Truman Wikipedia page, they don't tell you what the S stands for, which is a little bit of a rabbit hole for me now.
So, yeah, and maybe that is Darwin. Maybe that is Darwin.
I think it's Darwin.
Yeah, and I think this is definitely young Elvis.
He's gotta be relieved that he's being welcomed. Though,
Rudy?
That's gotta feel good.
Yeah. I don't blame him. But yeah, shout out poor little out for Rudy this evening, ladies and gentlemen.
He was a lot. He had like 7 years with the Bengals, and then just a cup of coffee. 237 rushing yards, 76 attempts for the Lions in 2008. So who was he backing up in 08?
Not for some reason the only name in my mind is Joik Bell, and I know that's not.
No, it's not Joik Bell, and it's not the director of Mallrats. Kevin Smith.
Oh crap, Kevin Smith. It was Kevin Smith.
Yep.
That was yeah. Linwood, what is a? I'm worried what this means because somebody has the phrase.
Oh no, Kevin Smith was a rookie. He was drafted that year. Avion Cason, Jerome Felton, Moran Norris.
Cason.
I don't know who took the majority of the reps. Boy, this is an auspicious year. We also had Dante Culpepper on the roster in 08 as well, along with Drew Hansen. And they had a couple of Drews with Henson and Stanton. And then, of course, one of our favorite analysts, Dan Orlovsky, right?
I do like him as an analyst. Did you like him as an analyst?
Yeah, I like him just fine. I do like how he breaks things down with like his holding his phone, pointing it at the computer.
I like. I don't know. I like when people. Well, like you said, I'm an analytics kind of guy, and oh no, I think I just stopped the Instagram stream like an idiot. Oh, there's nothing I can do about it.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Sorry, Instagram people. It was the most active group of commenters tonight too.
Really?
And I really don't think I can.
Were you? Yeah, I'm not going to make you.
No, I actually
explain the sausage making process to me. But how are you getting the comments from Instagram?
Oh, okay. No, yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'm actually still live on Instagram. Okay, good. So I have a separate window, so I have to open it separately. It doesn't run. It doesn't. I can't see it through StreamYard. The Instagram comments do not come through to StreamYard. So I have to have a separate window on another monitor open for Instagram. And then the questions come in there. I did lose the history of this conversation, unfortunately.
History,
But,
history is written by the winners.
That's true. Billy Zane?
Oh my gosh, I think so.
I think,
yeah.
I
kind of do that a lot, where I just kind of like unconsciously channel Billy Zane, from usually like whatever jerk role, bully role that he's in.
Oh, don't mind him. He's zaning right now.
He's zaning. I'm kind of zaning a little bit all the time.
There's no way to watch it through StreamYard, Linwood. It's either going to be on Instagram, YouTube, or on Twitch. So you can watch it on any of those. But yeah, you can watch it on YouTube as well. Just go to the Adam Makes Beer YouTube page and you'll see it.
You're streaming to Twitch as well.
Yes,
right?
We are streaming to Twitch as well.
Have you picked your video game that you're going to just start playing on Twitch?
Yeah, I don't
Adam
know.
Plays games.
That's me all the time. He's always playing games.
But it's like head games, like mental games where, you're kind of like keeping people off.
So I have a question for you, and I think this is something you can weigh in on. Both because you know me, you've known me for a long time. Yes, Linwood, yes, you are on IG, correct? Yeah, because that's what you're coming through on. So one of the things that happens to me occasionally, and now this is our 4th podcast that we've done together, where it's like actually public and live and all that stuff.
We've been podcasting technically for 30 some years, but this is only the 4th time we've done it in public.
Yes.
It's usually to either ourselves or whichever parent or friends are unlucky enough to be in the same room.
Sure. So I get comments at times on my YouTube videos that the person always prefaces by saying things like, hey man, I mean it's not a big deal, but I'm pretty sure, and then he lays into something. And the critique that people usually give me, it's interesting because I don't get a lot of critiques about me not knowing what I'm talking about when it comes to brewing stuff. Mm-hmm. But I do get critiques of people that feel like they need to say that I always seem like I am, quote, shit-faced or hammered or something along those lines. And like I almost never drink when I'm on stream. And like I think there's been like 2 or 3 live streams where I've had like a beer or a beverage. Mm-hmm. But I always think it's interesting. First of all, what are your thoughts on it? You've been streaming with me, doing things with me. Am I somebody that appears altered?
I have so many stories of scenarios where you've done the most outlandish things without any substance whatsoever in your system. In fact, it's typically the opposite. After you have a couple of drinks, it is a bring you down to like where everybody else is, and then a couple of more, and then you're zonked out. And that's just about it. Like there's no, it's truly an opposite sort of situation. It's funny to hear that, but they clearly don't know any better.
Well, and it's funny. Well, first of all, I'm always, and again, I've been really lucky with people not, being like mean or in general in the comments or anything. But it is funny how for some time it seems like it's a real problem for some people. You know what I mean?
It's been a real problem for a number of our friends for a number of years.
My behavior?
Your behavior and the way that you're able to relentlessly push whatever joke that you're engaged with at that time has led you to almost being, you worry about a stranger, pulling up on you in, the streets of Baltimore. I don't know. We've got a couple of big friends from Louisiana who I know have wanted to throttle you, and you are just living life, in the best way you know how.
I am just living life.
Yep.
So yeah. So those comments come through sometimes. So sometimes I wonder how that comes off. But yeah.
You gotta shake that off your back. You cannot worry about those guys that they don't know you and they think that you're
well, and thankfully like when I'm doing this stuff, like I'm usually having enough fun that I forget about that sort of thing. Anyway, but listen, game update. What do we have going on here? At 7-3, Seattle. Who scored that touchdown for Seattle, Stu?
Well, it's that dynamic duo of Sam Darnold with A. Barner.
Perfect.
AJ Barner.
Perfect.
I do like it when a backup comes in and he's got his favorite target is probably somebody who's a little down lower on the depth chart. So
yeah, Benson's getting some carries, getting a few touches, not moving the ball too much. Yeah, Murray chucked that interception. We'll see. I'm a big Greg Dortch guy. Actually, I'm not. I just like saying Greg Dortch. But yeah. What else, man? What's good with you?
The interesting thing about the show, Benson, was that it starred Renee Auberjonois, who was most commonly known as Odo in Star Trek Deep Space Nine, the changeling character. Our good friend Dustin was a big fan of this show, and specifically this character.
For me, Benson it blends in with Webster. Different strokes, not different strokes as much, but definitely Benson and Webster blend together for me, and Mr. Belvedere too.
Sure, yeah. So it's funny. Like I kind of missed my window earlier when you were providing fantasy football feedback, but I was gonna rank it as like, well, Benson's number one, George Papadopoulos from Webster's number two.
Yeah,
and then
that's the right call out. And then so
I'd put Mr. Belvedere in that number 3 spot too, if you've got the bench space for him. And of course, we're talking about just non-dads, right? Great non-dads, because Mr. Belvedere wasn't the dad. George Papadopoulos was obviously the adopted father of Webster. And I don't remember what the kid situation was like on Benson. Yeah.
There's also a shout out here for a show called Small Wonder.
I've got I understand the premise for Small Wonder, but that was one that was not available in our broadcasting environment. I do not believe. There are some shows that I do have a blank, like Punky Brewster was not something that I saw as a kid unless I was visiting family in Detroit.
Okay. Was it on cable or something?
Probably not on cable, but it was on some other, probably might have been on like ABC or something, where all we had were NBC and CBS for the majority of the 80s.
Okay. And so Linwood is saying that Small Wonder was indeed fire. And apparently there was a little girl that was a robot.
She was a robot, yeah.
Small Wonder is an American comedy science fiction sitcom. Okay, so there's a mashup that you don't always see that aired in first run syndication from 85 to 89. That's our window, Stu. We should have been aware.
That's the pocket. Yeah, no, I'm aware of Small Wonder. I just haven't seen it. I mean, I could talk to you all day about the Facts of Life, both when it was just Mrs. Garrett's like home and when they opened up like the novelty shop, right? Like those two separate, eras of, Facts of Life. You name all 4 Facts of Life girls.
Can't.
You didn't even try, and that's a little bit of
Tootie.
Tootie's one of them. Yeah, that's great.
Mel.
No. Natalie.
What was that?
Natalie is one of them.
Okay.
Joe. And of course, one of my first on-screen crushes was Blair.
Who was Blair?
Blair was the blonde. I don't know.
Let me read you something about Small Wonder and just see if it is our worldview today that potentially colors this sentence, or was it potentially seen as nefarious as I would see it now back then. The show chronicles the family of a robotics engineer who secretly creates a robot modeled after a human girl, then tries to pass it off as their adopted daughter, Vicky. How does that sit with you?
Not super comfortable with the premise. No, not super comfortable with the premise.
Yeah, I don't know, but I will take your word for it, Linwood. I'm going to need to get in there and check it out.
Similarly, there was a TV, I think it was a movie or something that was called The Clockwork Grandmother. And I think it was all about like this kid's grandma who died. The Electric Grandmother. It was this is dark, man. So,
but it's real?
Yeah. So, widower Henry purchases an android built in the form of a grandmother as a surrogate to his 3 children. The 2 boys accept the gynoid grandmother. I don't know what that means, but Agatha does not until she saves her life. When the children have grown up and no longer need her, the grandmother returns to the factory where she was built and spends time with other electric grandmothers no longer needed.
I tell you what, this talk of 80s TV, it rekindles in me the fire to, I mean, us living in different areas, we need to get on actually putting together like our photo for this podcast. I've pitched some concepts to you that's kind of like the maybe like the Perfect Strangers kind of thing. Like one of us is like the straight man and the other one is like the wacky guy who's always frustrating the practical guy.
I can't figure out who's who though.
It doesn't matter. That part doesn't matter because either one of us could.
It's very obvious.
Because
it's very obvious that you're Balky.
I want like looking at the side. I want one person like with the arms folded, like looking back over his shoulder, and then the other side, and the other side, like something. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff. But I want to start making that happen.
I want to find some way to get around copyrights and actually stream and watch some crazy bananas shows.
Yeah.
And dig into it. Maybe we watch a Small Wonder. We watch an episode of Benson. We curate the most insane sort of like forgotten 80s. I'll have some.
How does that stuff work? Dude, I would love to do.
They're doing it all the time. These guys do it all the time. These guys on the computer?
How do they do that stuff? Without like getting copyright strikes and blocked?
We're going to have to, I guess producer Jared's going to have to figure that out for us.
We need producer Jared to dig into this. I
think he's already on it. If I know If I know Jer like I think I do.
If I know producer Jer,
Yeah.
he's already.
He's kind of our small wonder if you think about it.
I'm going to need to get more familiar with the show before I agree to that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You know, Jer and I are on the same team for Twin Chat.
I cannot find any new ways to let you know how uninterested I am in that whole thing. The lack of interest I have is actually staggering.
It's just
complexity.
Just four dudes figuring it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Four dudes. That is one of my all-time favorite laughs from you. Is the laugh that is
dismissal?
It's part disgust, part snort, part chuckle, part giggle. That's it's one of my all-time favorites.
You got an airline you got to close off with that thing that you're playing with?
Oh, I forgot. I picked things up. I'm very tactile.
Yeah, you've a lot with your fidget stuff.
Well, earlier I spilled some water. When I opened one of these, it exploded a little bit, and so I had some water on the surface, and so I had to use a napkin.
Yeah, I'd say there's a little water on the surface.
And then I just pick things up and I start playing with them. It's not subsiding. It's not subsiding. I'm trying to get better at. I've actually had such a hard time getting things done lately. I haven't taken medication for ADHD since my mid-20s. Yeah. But part of me was almost like recently, maybe I need to try something again, even though I probably won't. But yeah.
We will figure out how to watch shows. And you want to preview the whole show? Are you worried about the content from
No. What I was saying was, you said that Jer was like one of the characters. And so what I was saying was
I said Jer was a small wonder.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying that he was like one of the characters in the thing. I'm like, oh, I'm not sure. I haven't seen it. But no, Jer is a small wonder.
No, he's a small wonder.
Yeah.
He's a robot we built.
Or is he no small wonder?
He's a small wonder. He's a robot we built to help us with this stupid podcast. And
like
the rest of the family thinks he's real. When I know that he's entirely made up.
Well, we're really good at it. We're really good at making those robots. So I would like to know, people in the chat, people in comments, if you are behind the idea of digging up some of like these 80s type shows, give us your recommendations. Give us some recommendations of one that we could go through, because there's a couple different ways that we could do that. Stu, what's on your mind?
I'm just thinking of just like absolutely ambushing you with like the special episodes. You know, do you remember how like
those terrible like the after school special ones?
Yeah, where like there are a few episodes that have some really grim content.
Oh yeah, you know? And it's always out of the blue. It's always out of the blue.
There are a handful of shows from that time period that have changed me, just absolutely upsetting, and have rewritten how I think at like the base level. So it is. Well, the most obvious one was the Different Strokes episode.
Okay.
You know, there was a bad one.
Yeah.
With Gordon Jump, who we talked about. Gordon Jump from WKRP.
Yep.
He played a very, very bad guy on Different Strokes.
He was a pervert.
It was very upsetting. And that was probably the first time I and a lot of other kids our age learned about how horrible that world could be. But there's a crazy episode of All in the Family. There's a crazy episode of The Littles, where like the guy's on like LSD or something. Like it's
what are The Littles? I don't even know that.
Dude, The Littles. if producer Jerry would have pulled up a picture of the Littles, it'd take me 20 minutes. I get a picture over to you, and we already moved on to the next topic. The Littles was a weird animation. It was a cartoon. It's like these little like elf people that live in the walls, and I don't know. It's weird. Very weird stuff. You'd recognize it if you saw it.
Yeah. So I was thinking, I think maybe by like, well, and this is just going to real world stuff, but like, did Cosby Show have like bad real world episodes, or was it just all funny stuff? I don't think so either.
Yeah, there's the episode where Stevie Wonder's on there. That was a good one. You can watch Alf, Oh, Kyler Murray got picked off again, which was good. I was worried he would end up with positive points on the week. That has turned out to not be an issue for me. But Cosby Show's obvious, man. Like, everybody knows about the Cosby Show.
Yeah.
Like, we have to we got to go digging.
No, I'm cool.
We have to put on our helmets with the little lights on the top, like spelunkers.
Yeah.
We dig up a show. You know what show I want to watch?
What's that?
I actually am going to make you put this picture up. So there is a show that I had blocked out, and and I recently became aware that it existed, and like a repressed memory, it came back to me all at once, and it was a show called not Small Wonder.
I'm assuming that was a Small Wonder.
I dropped it in there a while ago.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And then here was Kevin Smith. Or no, Rudy as a lion.
That was Rudy as a lion.
This is why we need a producer, man.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So the show is called The Wizard. So this was like a weekly show for a very short amount of time, guessing 1986.
Okay.
I think 1986 to 1987. The premise is Simon McKay is a genius and inventor with dwarfism who chooses to spend his life as a philanthropist and innovative toy maker dedicated to preserving and protecting innocence. CIC agent Alex Jagger is assigned to protect Simon from the evil forces who wish to use Simon's genius for their own nefarious purposes. That sounds about as airtight of a plot as I have ever heard.
First of all, the little person, and maybe it's just the promo shot, but he really looks a lot like older Woody Harrelson. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. They are soon joined by Simon's longtime friend, Tilly Russell. Simon, Alex, and Tilly become a family unit working together through adventure and adversity, especially when it comes to defeating Simon's self-proclaimed archenemy, Troyan, who would rather seek revenge upon the world for his suffering from the radiation poisoning he brought upon himself, then take responsibility for his own actions. In Troyan's defense, suffering from radiation poisoning can limit your options a certain amount. And if you do have an archenemy, or you perceive that you have an archenemy, I think that a little bit of understanding kindness should be emphasized. So maybe Simon isn't the hero. We'll have to wait and see.
It's compelling, man. It's compelling. My vote as of right now would be
to not
either
watch it.
Benson or Webster. What's that?
To not watch that.
I would either go Benson or Webster. But I'd be interested in hearing yours. Anybody in the chat, drop that stuff in there. What was the other one that I wanted to bounce off of you? there was one that I wanted to ask about. Oh, and we referenced this briefly, but Firefly, you were surprised to know that I was a Firefly fan.
No, I was surprised to know you were a nerd, not a Firefly fan.
Bro,
I thought you were
good.
a cool sports guy growing up. You had in your bedroom as a kid, you had the Fab Four, or the
Fab Five
with the Fab
poster.
Five book. You had a guitar. You had like Motley Crue, like cassettes. There was all sorts of sports equipment. The only exception was, what was that game with the tower?
Dark Tower.
Yeah.
Dark Tower was
the
awesome.
nerdiest thing about you.
Yeah.
You were trying to figure out how to play War Pigs on the guitar. I didn't think that you would be watching Firefly and caring about what's the guy? Is there a guy called
Mal.
Jane on there?
Yeah, Mal and Jane.
Mal and all of those guys.
Bro, great show. How many times have you watched the whole series?
I watched it all the way through once in 2002, 2003.
Dude, you need to watch it again. I think I watched it 3 times.
Yeah, I can't do that.
And then
I did not feel, when I watched it the first time, I didn't feel pulled to it. Now, I will say what's working against that show for me is the fandom. Fandoms upset me and turn me off.
Oh, don't worry about it. Don't pay it
Don't
no
worry
mind.
about that.
Pay it no mind. And first of all, love the cup. Love the mug.
I was wondering how long it was going to take you to
you
realize.
made me laugh with it. You made me laugh with it earlier. Made me laugh with it earlier. I'm thinking about I need to we should chat offline about getting something for James Bow. But I had a mug concept for that. But anyway.
Are you still selling these?
Yeah.
And you've got a merch shop, right?
Yeah, that's it's not really living anywhere right now. Like, it's there. The link is there. But
the link is where?
The link is in my Instagram, YouTube, maybe.
Instagram.
But it'll be more prominently on my webpage when I get that stuff done up, because I am the proud temporary owner of HowToMakesBeer.com. But yeah, well, I mean, for the next 3 or 5 years, whatever it is.
Right.
But yeah, I forgot what I was talking about before that. Oh, you drank out of the mug. Oh, but forget the fandom. It's great. And it has, what's his name? Mal. In real life, his name is what? I love him. I love that guy.
Thomas.
No. Thomas Royale.
Gil.
No, Nathan
Fillion.
Nathan Fillion is one of our show. What my wife and I we've kind of compromised on. She likes the kind of silly murder mystery, the semi funny. There's some funny stuff. So we watch Castle, starring Nathan Fillion, and he has a lovely co-star in that. And so I always love to tell Peggy when we're watching it how sexy Nathan Fillion is when it's the two of them on the screen. But yeah, Nathan Fillion, I love him. He's funny. He's handsome. I mean, come on.
There's one entry point into that series for me. And it is that Ron Glass was in the series. He plays I don't know who he plays. Shepard. Well,
yeah.
Ron Glass was also in Barney Miller.
Really? I never watched Barney Miller.
Barney Miller is an amazing show.
Okay.
That's a really good one.
Yeah.
Very funny. Really good. Our good friend Mike and I were going over how good Barney Miller was not too long ago.
Barney Miller, baby. Is it black and white?
It's late. It's 70s, mid 70s, probably early 80s. Yeah, and 75 to 82. I remember that was probably one of the earliest shows I remember watching as a kid. That would be on TV. So I was 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm up for it. I'm up for it. We have to figure out the legalities of it.
And then in sometime closer to Halloween, we'll have a Ghost Stories episode. And then
do you wanna dress up for the Halloween live stream?
We could dress up. Yeah. We'll probably have to.
I mean, we could.
Yeah.
We could.
And we'll tell
basically what I do is in order to dress up is I will probably just put on a cowboy hat and just shave all of my stubble off except for my mustache and this thing. Yeah. So
I'll probably just put a luchador mask on.
I like it. Yeah. I like it. And a cape.
A cape. I could have, a cape perhaps. And you could tell a story about like a haunted brewery that you know about. Something that'll like scare all your regulars. They like won't be able to sleep at night because they'll be thinking about like,
they do get scared.
The ghost brewer.
They do get scared sometimes.
They get scared sometimes. That's okay. You have nightlight or
All right, so our to-do list. Let's come up with our to-do list. To-do list, and some of these are long-term, some of these are short-term. We need to figure out how we can do some shows or at least show segments. Okay.
Right.
And just kind of live react, breakdown kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to hear from anybody out there, and Stu, you included. As of right now, we just it's pretty obvious. We just kind of get on and talk about some stuff. I'm interested in some segment ideas. If everybody has any ideas for segment stuff you want to hear us talk about, if you heard us hit some topics before and you're like, oh, I like it when they do that, drop some comments on stuff like that.
They don't like it when we do that. We'll think of some stuff.
And then we need to figure out how we're going to use the background pictures that we can use, because we could have something back here that would be branded up for us. And we need to be working on a logo picture for ourselves too.
Also, if maybe they can comment, and if they think that I should actually have, what is it? What's the level of access that lets me put pictures up on the screen? So I can just ambush you.
Can you do that?
Right absolutely. Now I can't now, but there is a level of like co-host or something access in StreamYard where I can actually stage content as well.
I would like to.
We can play with that sometime offline.
Yeah. Let's play with that. But anyways, let's wrap up, man. I don't know. I have no idea what next week looks like. But we'll see. We'll be around. For those of you that are on the beer, we'll see. For those of you that are on the beer side of things, I'm going to be back next week on Wednesday. I'm going to be interviewing Hannah Eisen. And I'm forgetting what brewery she's with off the top, but we're going to be getting into some beer stuff with her. So stay tuned. Follow along on Instagram for all the good stuff. Stu, you got any parting words of wisdom, brother?
As you're going through your brewing contacts and doing these interviews between now and Halloween, find out if they've got spooky stories, ghost stories from their breweries. I really want to make this special, the Halloween episode.
To kind of build up for the Halloween thing. How much time do we have to plan? I mean, we have weeks.
We've got a month. Write in with your spookiest story.
Write in with your spookiest stories, you guys. Let us know what view on the camera you like. Do you like when it's like this or when we're up in there?
I bet
you know what I mean.
I bet the other way is better. But I'm all gas, no brakes with the Halloween episode.
First of all, I love the terminology. But yeah. Well, anyhow, I appreciate you stopping in, chatting with us this evening. It was good seeing y'all in here. Stu, good catching up, and I'm sure we'll be hollering at you guys soon.
Later.
Have a good day, everybody.
This feeling's deeper than an ocean, with a groove that's beating harder than my heart. So baby, now just hear me out. No, don't fear this emotion, 'cause you can't stop the fire once it starts.